Hello and welcome back to the Eternal Super League. This is week 8, the penultimate week. It's been an exciting 8 weeks so far, or 7 weeks so far, and we have still a fair bit more to go. My name is Andre from the Metro Ball Grid. Super excited to be running your stream today, and I'm joined from across an ocean. It's Jai. Jai, how's it going?
Yo, what's up? Okay, for one, I'm really thankful you didn't introduce me like everyone else who introduces me as the people's champion. So much appreciated.
You got it. I knew you'd introduce yourself anyways with that, so still get it regardless.
Yeah, that was a bit of a self-report, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, moving swiftly on.
So welcome for joining us. Now, Jai, you had the pleasure of watching, mind you, as a player in the Eternal Super League. I have the standings up right now, Jai, and you're currently in second place. And this is a really interesting week. You're the player who has the bye week in the final week 8, which means these are your last games we're going to be able to see today, right?
Yes, that's correct. Like waiting with bated breath.
Yeah.
I mean, after of course we see the results of this to see who may or may not be overtaking me in the quest for second place, because God knows no one is catching over 15-15.
I mean, we kind of saw this narrative last Eternal Super League where we had a clear winner for the first like 5 weeks, and then Tron did turn it around. At this point, I think that ship has kind of sailed. So off 15-15 looks like they're going to be locked in for that title. I think it usually comes with a designed card with an likeness on it. I don't want to say that because I'm not Eternal Super League organizer, but there's some really nice Tron arts out there. So congratulations to 15-15, but that doesn't mean we're not going to have really exciting games. In terms of the format, I believe also, like, unfortunately, the last 2 players, they have a chance of running to relegation. Is that correct?
I believe it was either the last 2 or 3. I'm honestly not too clear on that, but so like, yes, definitely that makes the Ace Empress looking to climb out of that hole.
Exactly. And that's the narrative maybe we'll be following over the next 2 days or the next 2 weeks, because they're all great players here. Mind you, this format is such a wild thing to pick up. And some of these players might not have been playing Eternal for that long, but definitely have not been playing Eternal back in the day where those cards were just standard cards. And so that's like such a big feat to accomplish. But we've been seeing some great games. So this is, mind you, phase 3. So phase 2 just ended a week ago. And last week we got to see one of the big differences with this phase is players can play new decks, but also we're now kind of following the new points list. There was an update just about the time that Vantage Point came out. The Eternal League, or Eternal format, excuse me, got their own points change. How did you deal with the points change? How could you summarize it to someone who's watching who might not be too familiar with ESL?
So I guess the biggest thing that happened with the latest points change is that the 2 boogeymen of the format, or 2 of the boogeymen of the format. So on the runner side, that will be the very notorious Nuclear Penguins combo Wu deck.
Yeah.
And on Corp side, that will be CI. And I guess to a certain extent, Nebula, Fast Advance, or Butcher Shop Nebula as well. These decks got taken down a peg, and in the case of combo Wu, quite a significant peg. Of course, for those unfamiliar, this would be using the Wu's ability to farm out multiple hyperdrivers and then popping them all in a single turn to ritual and draw basically your entire deck. And with your entire deck in your hand and like 9 clicks or so, you can probably figure out a way to win from there.
Oh yeah.
And I'm quite happy that the Eternal team did something about that.
So expecting, to see less of that Shaper matchup. And mind you, I think we're at this point, it's like 4 Criminals, 3 Shapers, 2 Anarchs, I think is the breakdown. Did that change your deck choices for going into phase 3, and how did it change that?
Oh, so that's an excellent question. Because like in phase 2, I did play my patented Scorpio's defense systems, partially because I had some tech in mind for the Wu matchup. As I think many people did. I didn't end up playing against the combo Wu. What I did end up playing was against Torrent's World Tree Wu, which was like less affected by the changes. Not that the changes had gone into place yet, but in any case, it was a very entertaining game and very short, and I lost in very short order due to my own wickedness and misdeeds.
Tehran usually goes by the handle Tehran 4. I joked it should be changed to Tehran 3. If you watch the game, it makes sense, but sick. I think I'm really excited for this. It's been a minute since I've been able to be behind the wheel and get to see, firsthand some of these games. Again, if you're not familiar with the format, these are pre-recorded games that have been asynchronously played. So we are just watching replays that the kind folks playing this league take the time to record and send in. It's a whole process. ESL is absolutely fantastic. You ready to dive into our first games today?
Yeah, hit it.
Cool, let's do it. So first here we have Dungeon Mixer versus Ace Empress. We're gonna be looking at Andy versus Titan. I think this is the first time we saw Titan in the ESL for a minute, and that ability to get the free agenda counter can go quite far. Of course, we have Project Atlases, and you get that sort of Astro Train. I guess we're off.
Let's do it.
So Andy, mind you, 9-card hand size. That's all your text is, the link, whatever, the rebirth, if you can find it. You are playing Andy as well. And obviously having the ability that's only relevant on turn 1 is still super attractive. Turn 1 is a very important turn. How do you reckon these Andy decks are structured? Are they just like reg stuff deck? Are they, just like toolbox, the right tech pieces and just consistency? That seems to be what I've seen so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think the magic of Andy in Eternal is it can be both at the same time, right? Like what we think of Red Crim in like standard and like previous standard formats is not really the same as Red Crim in Eternal. Red Crim in Eternal is like really structured around, if you ask me, this card that we see here in hand, Account Siphon.
Yeah.
And really the bulk of the deck flows from there. We see, that is not a good opening from
no ice. And we're assuming this is a Crisium Grid on HQ, which is your kind of flagship of the old day. So instead of being trashed for 5 credits, we're just going to steal it. And there's a Crisium Grid pulled to the cup. Off the books, also another interesting card that does work with Titan Transnational. But that Count Siphon is going to come in. Ace Empress doesn't have a good deck here, or a good duck here, I'm assuming, right? Like, I don't think we're going to see the Sealed Vault strategy.
Sealed Vault seems not a real Titan card.
Yeah.
We will see if there is a rest. No rest here.
That's a big swing down to 4 credits. So see, we can check server 1 here. We're going to discard a bunch of cards in hand with our crowdfunding. That's not usually that big of a downside. We did make 3 successful runs, and we still have HQ pressure. Just a Jackson Howard for 3, not being rezzed. Again, I guess that's not Spin Doctor, so no surprise, but going to use some of those credits we just stole this turn.
Yeah. So we will get an Aaron Marone and a crowdfunding discard. Yeah, so Dungeon Mixer, of course, to an excellent start here against Ace Empress.
Now, floating tags, right? Like, these are closed deck lists. I have played Titan with a bit of a kill package to kind of back up that sort of fast advance threat. But 2 tags, we'll see if Ace Empress, if they can draw for something that can be lethal here. You're going to need usually 2 cards for a kill. Unless there's a boom, I guess. It's too late now with 1 click left.
Yeah, I mean, boom is in faction. Although I'm not sure if like Titan is running like the kill package to be able to take advantage of it. Like notoriously with like 24/7 news cycle, you can like fire a breaking news score effect and get a. I was going to say get a kill off of it, but yeah, just hitting agendas. I mean, these fast advanced decks.
I think we're going in there for the Amakua counter to maybe charge the ice on HQ, but unfortunately not getting the counter, getting the point instead. And if Ace Empress, if Ace just drawing and not, doing the fast advance combo stuff, it means that Face hand is going to be full of agendas, which means that Copulation, as long as you get enough, Amakua counters, that's going to close the game out relatively quickly. Drawing into Unity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Money is drawn up. Are you scared to face check in this format with just a bravado? Are you worried about, like, I'm not sure what you can hit here that would ruin the game.
I mean, that's an excellent question. I'm not really sure like what ice Titan is playing. Oh, notably, it's a 17 influence ID, so there's a little bit more leeway to play cards like Slot Machine, Engram Flush, all these like really high impact 1 influence ice.
17 influence.
So there is like maybe some concern.
We'll see now how we're going to be fast advancing out our first points. Audacity with 7 cards in the hand and probably multiple agendas can't beat the line we're pursuing. So whether it's just a biotic or nano management, but instead we're going to get our money up and throw down the first current. Scarcity of resources. You know it. You love it. Resources are going to be a bit more expensive.
Yeah. Dungeon Mixer has a pretty good turn here, right? Or we do have a counter current and a siphon, or a siphon if you want to take it, but like going clean getaway on archives. I mean, no, we just go boomerang siphon.
So we're not going to get the access here. This is boomerang. So you're going to lose a credit on the corporate grant install. We're not using the corporate grant. I think we bottomed it, right?
Yes, it was that or the siphon.
Right. So account siphon is going to come through. If you res, the boomerang will be spent, but you'll be lower on credits. We'll see if this is Mythic Ice or, again, this does truly replace. So whether you want to go back, we still don't have an Amakua counter, but the boomerang is still good. I imagine here you can bravado and just send the cup. Instead, going to transfer.
I do think so. Yeah, and this will get crowdfunding back as well.
Yeah.
For our 3rd successful run.
And here we go. I imagine here there has to be points in hand because Ace Empress has been just caught not really progressing the game. 1 credit to trash this. Violet level clearance is a trashable Atlas.
That's easy trash.
Ooh,
Ooh, that is a lot of points in HQ. Yeah.
And this is the Andromeda thing, right? Like if you have an ability that only works on turn one, some games can just be 4 turns in Eternal. So having the best opening hand is how you get to this consistently. Unfortunately, rough flooding for Ace Empress, very annoying mulligan, did not convert, and the Jackson Howard cannot be used the same way Spin Doctor can to get that quick card draw. Well played to both players.
Yeah, well played. And we'll get to the second game very quickly.
Perfect.
Here we go.
So Sports Metal versus Arasana. Very cool to see Arasana. Sports Metal is, I think, a lot of people's favorite identity. Just so cool. 45-15, but whenever an agenda scored or stolen, you can make a really fun decision. It's either get 2 credits or draw 2 cards. I'm assuming this has to be full combo, right? Arella Salvatore, all that sort of stuff.
Yes. Yeah. No, Wild Turtle this week is with the new ban list, but no VP cards, just to double confirm.
Yes. Yeah, that is totally correct. So it's changes for the last phase, but no VP cards so far. So here we got Arasana. Looks like we have a deep dive in hand and, of course, a hyperdriver. So that's a nice combination. Of course, Trojans, there's a wider card pool, and a DDoS is going to be our first pointed card I think we see in our hand here. I'm not sure if any of these other cards are pointed.
DDoS is 2 points, I believe. Hyperdriver is 3.
Ooh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
So that ritual doesn't get played click 1, and that's because Ace Empress wants to keep that ritual hyperdriver combo.
We have this hyperdriver, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so
this is not going to be anywhere near as big a pop-off as the combo Wu turns that we're talking about.
Yeah.
But I mean, 1-click draw, was it 6 cards? Still good.
Seems good. And Dungeon Mixer actually wants interaction. We've seen these games where Dungeon Mixer gives, the first couple points, you get negative points, and then the game changer pops off. And that's when you score entirely in 1 turn. So Ace Empress actually sitting back and not stealing the first Mega Pre, that sort of interaction, not stealing the Hyperloop extensions or whatever they're called. That really does help. It actually slows down the corporation a fair bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't recall exactly, but I do remember that someone, it might have been Dungeon Mixer, was playing around with this hybrid of the OG game changer with the core damage package with ontological dependencies.
Very cool.
As well as Nightmare Archives, which are a really good fork either way, because you take the core, they're happy because of ontos, minus points are good because of game changer, and so on.
Now here we have a big burst, still 6 clicks to install cards. Now the card at server 1 didn't move. It seems like it might be a small agenda. An upgrade on R&D, while a Giordano is not going to be doing anything for the near future. It looks like we're just going to trick shot in and see what this is. And honestly, Arasana's ability is just getting propeller, but we'll see what we see here if it's a Hendrick or not. It's a game changer off the top for 2.
Game changer, that's an easy trash. All right.
We have the credits.
Trick shot money.
Second card, there's the Onto. First points.
Oh, a bit of a shame we didn't install this Aaron Marone in hand, actually.
Yeah, we got those extra card draw. And there's just a Cyberdex Fire Suite. Not what I was expecting there. Kind of bluffing to be a true defensive upgrade. I don't know if in the matchup this will actually matter, but 1 credit. It's obviously Ace Empress knows whether Faye needs to trash this or not. Not supposed to steal those. Apology. I mean, let's be nice here. And then we have 4 more credits if we want to charge server 1.
Okay, looks like that gets trash. So notable that DDoS works across all servers.
Oh, of course.
All servers on the turn that you pop it.
Whoa.
Estelle Moore.
One of the most powerful cards, and it's easy to get this thing just to fire, but it looks like Dungeon Mixer did not have the hand to they really start to throw cards on the table. So finding their Nightmare Archives, which I think you'd wanted to install.
Yum.
With 1 Onto, it's easier and easier to take core damage. I'm assuming we'll take this as negative points. I'd be happy either way.
Really thinking about this one, huh?
Yeah. I think Onto is the big, payoff. Once 2 are in score areas, I think you can afford to take some core damage, but Ace Empress is going to think this decision out.
Can I just shout out that this trick shot trashed 4 cards and stole trashed 6 credits of cards and stole 1 for 1 credit?
It's so cool with DDoS. That's a really nice way. I'm assuming Ace Empress is also going to end this turn.
It is a pretty sick combo.
This is going to be a deep dive turn as well, for sure. Very, very easy to run HQ here, run Archives, and then just steal maybe 2 more points. There might be the big 5/3s that you want to steal early, the Vacherons that tick down, but the Ontos are definitely the huge target you want to find here. If you suffer the core and lose the deep dive here, 1 and 6, it's so bad for you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Ace Empress looks like not willing to take that risk. Okay. Yeah. Running this Cyberdex again, and here we go.
Looking there, I think we just see 2 Mega Pre's.
We see 2. Is that
That's not great.
I feel like you're okay to take 2.
Yeah, I mean, you do for a click for sure. Now this is going to get the corporation card draw and credits. Notably, those cards are set aside, so you're not going to interact with those top 8. You actually will draw unknown cards. And if we bend another click here, that's going to be, we're getting to 3 points, I guess. And 2 Mega Priest out is nice, because that card does get better if they're in your score area. We also do see a Fast Break, which is a really cool card. Very, very powerful now. Again, Game Changer is 4 clicks. Fast Break is like 4 installs. The combo can set up pretty quickly, as much as that is shuffled back into R&D now.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if the threat level changes anything in this matchup. It might
think so.
The only thing that cares about this kind of thing might be game changing, and that's only for like number of agendas and a fast break, of course.
Yeah,
but nothing that cares about like the threat level unless there's some like core damage tech.
We get the stock buyback there, so an easy up to 20 credits from 5 last turn, and now cards on the remote server. Ace Empress's hand doesn't have the card draw there. Getting the Aaron Moran down the turn before would have been so nice, but we did need all those clicks to do the deep dive. We'll see here now with a Muse, excuse me, asking about economy. See if this remote server run is tricky. I'm assuming these upgrades are not defensive, but they are like, Aurelas and Sands. I'm not sure how this combo goes in Eternal right now.
So probably it's Arella Salvatore with possibly calibration testing, and to afford the calibration testings, you play Breakaway Grid.
Yep.
To make them all cost 0. And like this was like one of the like potential upgrades with vantage points that people were brainstorming.
Oh, cool.
When the cards were starting to come in, right?
With Hype Machine?
With Hype Machine, you technically pay more on the first rest, but everything else, that is not the grid. Or not the same grid that we're talking about. Domestic Sleepers.
0 point agenda. Gonna still do core damage. And this you can click if you want to get an agenda point. So the Jupe stat is alive and well. We're 1 core damage in. Whoa, Game Changer.
We Game Changer now. Okay, that's game 4. We're doing more core damage.
Game Changer sick here. So we're going to get a lot of clicks. Ella Vigar, no D-res, but now we have 2 core damage. You can continue to score out. I guess you need another Game Changer, but we're at 2 core damage. Now the Ontos are alive and well, let alone every time you do this, you get the card draw back or the economy back with 1 click left here. I'm not sure what we're going to do, but protect the Jupe stat, protect HQ. Both reasonable lines.
Yeah. I mean,
that's
Game Changer 6 credits, gain 4 clicks is pretty good rate.
Yeah, tempo Game Changer. You usually see those just like seal the game, and admittedly here, Hot Pursuit drawn off the Aaron Marone is so nice here. If you want to send the Penguin motorcycle in, looks like we're just gonna get it. So this is kind of what transfer. Oh no!
Hold on.
Huge hit. We're up on game point now, fighting the second Onto, which was scoreable next turn. Massive hit for Ace.
We have to go to remote now, right? Because like surely whatever was installed was more valuable than a Onto.
I think it's a Nightmare Archives, right? Like I think it's just protecting it. Meridian can be broken.
Oh no! We can propeller this. Whoa, we can Ari propeller this.
You can Muse propeller or Ari propeller. You can also just take this as a negative point and just say I'm going to play a longer game. We've seen 1 Game Changer removed from game so far. I'm interested to see what Ace does here.
Yeah.
And Meridian does give the runner a choice. It's either a free res and an end the run, or it's a bounce. In fact, you actually gain a credit. So we're going to go for it. Muse into propeller.
Oh, we're going to Muse.
Or Slap Vandal, maybe?
Slap Vandal? Slap Vandal works. Yeah,
that's good.
More permanent solution. Very nice. Clean.
Yeah, you don't often see this card getting broken, and that's one of the cheapest ways to do it. This card does have good numbers on it. This has to be Nightmare Archives. It's a Rashida.
Rashida, all right. Fair enough.
I'm just going to clear out the Jupe stat. Okay.
Yeah. Very valid.
We have a deep dive in hand here. We have a bunch of clicks left. I'm assuming the hyperdriver will come down, but the idea is that we have to be able to threaten R&D and still have 2 credits to get the deep dive off. And if the deep dive finds it ontological, which might be the only real 2-pointer in this deck, I'm not sure if you play Luminal, that'll be game. And fortunately here, we're going to have to discard down to 3 hand size, but it shouldn't be too rough. We got a Current and a Joyride. Don't know if we need those.
Yeah, so this hyperdrive definitely comes down. Here we go. We click for credit, dropping, as you say, Joyride and Interdiction. Don't expect that many currents coming out of Dungeon Mixer's deck, if at all.
Yeah. I don't know. I love the core damage currents. I think they really do snowball, but it's going to be a Jackson Howard. This is, again, what Spin Doctor used to be like. What can you tell me about the choices between Spin Doctor and Jackson Howard in Eternal Super League? Because I know they're both pointed. I think they're differently pointed, but I might be wrong about that.
That is correct. So Jackson is worth 2 Eternal points and Spin Doctor is worth 1.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, like other people have already gone over like the functional differences between those two cards already. I am personally a Spin Doctor enjoyer, but that's because I like drawing cards clicklessly.
Tempo.
Just on rest. Yeah, but it is worth noting that Spin Doctor can never extend the length of the game because you can't end up with more cards in R&D than you started with when you're firing it off because of the res on or the draw on res, right?
Yeah.
Jackson, if you just install res pop immediately, can be a net +3 in R&D, which is excellent for extending the length of the game. If you really need more turns to do what your deck wants to do before the runner gets their game plan up.
Now, this is really interesting because Dungeon kind of just set up. You're going to want to run Archives anyways to pop the Spin Doctor or the Jackson to force it if you want to go for the deep dive. And I didn't know if Ace is going to fire the Hyperdriver, but we're going to go for it. Using the Aaron Monron right there to see if we can draw a ritual, but instead it is just the Diesel, the Proto Ritual. We have an indexing, which not great with the Jackson on the table, but the idea is how do we break one ice on R&D and just deep dive? Or do you think the ice is only Meridians? We're just sending it, indexing into Jackson Howard. You generally want to avoid this. This is not going to work out really well.
Yeah. I think this is interesting. Maybe this is like purely just to chase out the Jackson.
Yeah. Ooh,
Gatekeeper. And it's a gatekeeper. Oh, I don't know if we can break this.
No, hoping for a Meridian or a barrier here and a cheap one at that. So you could simulchip chip back the Muse, but I think what you're getting for the Muse, you could actually get through the end run by like trashing the Slap Vandal and bringing it back. But actually you can't because Hyperdriver wasn't trashed. It was RFG'd. So you can simulchip shuffle. That's cool.
Oh, is it? It is a simul chip. Okay, yeah. For a moment, I thought that was a clone chip.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, so you can do this and fire. Yes, we will break end the run. This is expensive.
Yeah, now you no longer have credits to threaten. You also have to run back, so click for credit and then run. That's when the Jackson Howard gets fired. Notably, also Gatekeeper, you can't even run back on the indexing because the first subroutine always shuffles.
2 Vacherons from Archives.
Just put them in the deck. They're safe there. You can just go for the breach here, but the index. Oh no, we just go in for the breach. That's kind of sick. And Singer Rashid on the top. No steal, no trash. So that Jackson Howard is not going to be moving anytime soon. Keep drawing up there.
So another Diesel.
We have an Ika, which is a valuable card. We haven't seen a Sentry yet, but we're going to have to be discarding down 3 cards. I don't know if the Pichachamp is super important, but we've used 2 Hyperdrivers, so click gain is going to be a bit trickier.
Yes. So I'm wondering if Ace Empress is running any trash utility, like some Acerps or Knick-Knack for all these random Trojans and like Muses lying around, or if the only use for them is going to be like simul chip food.
Yeah, my guess is
like Dungeon Mixer is shuffling the deck regardless.
Yeah, straight off the top again, that wasn't an index. That was you decide to go for the Axis. It is a breach replacement, but with optional. We don't see that often in NSG Netrunner. That was a pretty big staple back in FFG days. But Dungeon Mixer here is sitting on very comfortably 14 credits. I don't know exactly what you need for the Game Changer combo, but I'm assuming it's like within reach.
Yeah. I feel like we are setting up for that. Right now. With 2 core damage down, it's like much less necessary to get another Jumpstart Grid fire off. So I am wondering like what these, assuming there's one card in this remote that is an asset or agenda. We saw a Rashida, of course, on top of R&D, but I think they got shuffled away by the Jackson Shuffle.
Yep. Now, Ace Empress is just going for the deep dive here, trying to find the ontological, running Archives first to hope that for the shuffle. Unfortunately, finding Domestic Sleepers and a Nightmare Archives. Do you do 1 and 3 to take the core damage and hope it doesn't hit the deep dive? Because as soon as you go -1 points here, there's no 3-pointers in this list you can interact with.
Yeah, we have like Project Vacheron, but obviously we can dive a Vacheron and expect to win the game like before sports combos off. So
exactly. Dungeon Mixer also
might be interested.
Drew 2. So like trying to get to the combo, money doesn't seem to be the rate limiting factor. This is a huge 1 and 3. There's notably also no window here to use Iran. So like Aaron can't draw. Missed it. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Aaron Moran just drawing up for options there if we have a run event, but we're going to be able to run down this Gatekeeper. 1 credit to break the end of the run, allowing Dungeon Mixer to draw multiple cards. We do get a shuffle regardless, but here you're looking for the last ontological, which Dungeon Mixer has been drawing aggressively that turn and will be drawing more. So
and because you know a dive is coming, you're incentivized to not shuffle your last ontological back in the deck.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that might be the last 2-pointer left unless we are on Luminol.
I assume that's it. Breach Server, we are still going to access a card here. Another Nightmare would be bad. Hyperloop. Now we can win on any agenda.
Dive anything wins the game now.
Huge, big choice not taking the core damage there and risking it. It looks like it might pay off. Ace Empress has 1 click here to play the deep dive. Send it in chat.
I think we are standing it.
Asking for an action here. Sports did draw 2 more cards. Sports, be with me now. Finding no. That is not it. That's a sleepers.
That doesn't do it. That doesn't do it.
Just a bit short there. Seeing in the deck has 2 fast breaks, but Tim has betrayed you. The last Nightmare Archives is there, 2 Jacksons and an Aurella. So I think if Dungeon Mixer has the combo, they should have everything. I don't even think you take the sleepers, do you?
Yeah, the sleepers is worth like two more draw on.
Yeah, you can't touch that.
Dungeon Mixer side.
Oh no! So we'll see if this matters.
It is worth like Aaron Maroon counters. So there's like not nothing.
And sometimes like you score this just to draw more cards to like make your combo not break. But yeah, Ace Empress is saying not sure if it's correct. I'm not sure either, but I don't know if I know this matchup that well. So that's going to be 2 more card draw. And notably the card drawn are not those 8 that we're looking at. So they're unknown cards. So that's Game Changers, Ontos, all the other cards you care about. We're at 3 core damage. Rashida's a start. Oh my god.
So here comes Rashida.
Oh my god. We're going to be with 9 cards left in R&D here. 20 credits.
7, by the way.
Yeah. Yep. Just using Aaron Moran to see deeper. I don't think there's any interrupt here that you can play from your hand that will stop this. But if Dungeon Mixer doesn't have it here, Ace Empress's pressure has really slowed down now. We haven't seen like any economy cards, and even just doing a deep dive is 3 credits. Oh, we're number wanging. Choopstad.
I don't know what that means, but let's go.
This looks like it's lethal.
That is going to be a lot of core damage, huh? 10 clicks. Install.
Advance. There's the Elevagar. Now we do have an Aurella Salvatore Res, so we did just go ahead and lose here. You can always ask your opponent can draw with Aaron to kind of dodge the damage. I don't know if it's super important here, but Aurella now installs a card from your hand, giving an advancement on it. So the Ontos, all the 2/0/2/1s, they're really easy to dive forward, as much as this doesn't seem like it's a team sponsorship combo.
Andre, I suspect that Ace Empress might die from negative hand size before Dungeon Mixer.
Yeah, but that'll be next turn. Like you still get a full turn, right?
Dungeon Mixer was particularly bloody minded.
Yeah,
you know.
I think we've seen that before. But very importantly, Aaron means that you won't die to core damage. If you have negative hand size, you will die at the end of your runner turn where you fail to discard down to hand size.
Yes. Oh, I guess we're gonna win with Vacheron here. That's boring. Okay, fine.
Yeah, we have a lot of clicks. It turns out. We did Game Changer. We have 1 billion clicks.
And 1 billion Aaron Maroon counters, as it turns out.
Yeah. Like, you're not going to flatline. It's just, I don't know if there's another turn to use those cards. Look at all those nice cards. You got a lot of nice cards there. So here we have to score out of Vacheron. Should be relatively simple. We know they got shuffled back in R&D, and we did not see them in the deep dive. So just a couple more advances will do it. There's no clot here. No word on the street. So should be easy enough for Dungeon Mixer just to get 4 more advancements.
Word on the street, is that a reasonable card to play
in Eternal? In Standard?
I guess not. Just play cloud like a normal person.
Play the source. Play the source. That's a fun one.
Yeah. The source does it.
We don't have it. We're fast breaking.
I suppose.
This draws.
Okay, let's click for 4 credits. Draw.
You gotta make sure you don't deck out here.
Some number of cards.
But if you find any Vacheron here, I think
Dungeon Mixer is going for the style points of winning with exactly 0 cards in R&D.
Pretty sick.
That has got to be the case.
Install. You still have enough clicks there, mind you. This does still install cards. Any amount of cards in the server gives you money too. This is credit positive. Fast break's a wild card. Yeah, there's cowardice printing up to on fast break. Oh, you don't have to deck out with fast break. I didn't realize that. I thought it was forced up to. What would this be? 8 cards in the score area.
Yes, it is. It does say up to. Like cowardice is is definitely one way to describe it. Okay, we are just over installing.
Yeah.
Okay, Game Changer. Okay, like
another Game Changer. Wait, are we gonna run out of credits here? What? We're going the long way around? 5 agenda points, 1 more core damage. Where are the Vacherons?
No. This is fine. This is fine. We triple
Yeah.
click the domestic sleepers, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah. What is the damn thing? Where are the Vacherons?
Wait. So Megapri hasn't gained its trigger yet. Is that just? I think Megapri is still pending.
So yes, Dungeon Mixer is at 6 now, and you can just triple click.
Yeah. Domestic sleepers is such a cool way to end this game.
Okay, this is some extended BM by Dungeon Mixer right now. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, this is BM.
What is going on?
Clicking for credits SMH. Yeah, the sleepers is right there.
It's right there. The cards have text. Come on now.
9 points also does it. Well played to both players. Man, wild game. Those deep dives could have gone a different way, and the game is totally different, but just scrappy enough, putting on enough pressure for Ace Empress, but getting at 6 agenda points, looking at one Nightmare Archives in there, in hindsight, who knows which way it can go. That's wild. Good games.
Yeah, and then that dive whiff, that was big.
Yeah, huge whiff there. So many points, so many different cards get you out of that, especially when you steal an agenda on the R&D run on the dive turn. Well played to both players. That's sick. All right, that brings us to game 3 today, or game 2, I guess you want to talk about. We have Knight from Chess versus Augustus. We're looking at Wizard versus Op. Op is the most popular identity we have for this phase. There's, I think, 3 Op decks. I'm assuming they're all combo, which, like, yeah, that seems right. What can you say about the Op decks in this phase so far?
Yeah, I mean, I played against at least one of them this phase, and so Op right now in Eternal is really this combo focused. It's the deck has taken like multiple nerfs already. I don't even think it's on any Jacksons or spins because of the points nerfs.
Whoa.
And it's not anymore, and that's because it's such a good vehicle in terms of consistency for finding Estelle Moons, finding Rashidas, and so on.
Yeah, and there's an employee strike, which is actually going to slow down the deck a fair bit. We're running currents. I'm assuming at this point it's just like the Wayland one that gives you credit when they run paywall implementation.
Paywall implementation.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So that's just your counter current. The text is okay, but the card in server one looks like it was like, I don't know, Advanced Assembly Lines is seeing play and Estelle Moon is seeing play. Just cards that can get other cards, or even just like Rashida to get a Spin Doctor. Well, I guess we're not doing Spin Doctor, is still a pretty wacky line.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the biggest thing that Op has access to in Eternal that it doesn't have in Standard very specifically is a one cost asset with a trash can symbol on it, and that will be Mark Yale.
Yeah,
and that's like the key for chaining together Estelle Moon fires into Rashida fires, or even Rashida fires at instant speed at the end of the runner turn 1.
Oh, SSL endorsement just giving points again.
SSL from the
on the table is wild. There's 6 points on the table. Wait, turn 2.
6 points. Does Augustus not have anything else to install?
What is this hand? And we did throw out a bin breaker, I'm pretty sure, which is an Anarch breaker you can only install if you interact with the right ice. So if you don't res that stuff, I was going to say this hand here with Clan Vengeance, you do just, if you have enough damage, and vanilla is going to be 1 net damage, it gives you the ability to disrupt the hand on the combo turn if you're lucky. Losing a Praxis here, keeping the second Clan Vengeance, but no credits, going to chase out the Estelle Moon, and this is wild.
This is last click.
Yeah. So
AAL is really good here.
Yeah, super, super nice. You can't fire this during a run, but this ensures that you have an op ability either this turn or right at the beginning of the runner's turn. And of course, you can't touch it if it's in a different server. Yeah, man, what is going on in Augustus's hand?
If I'm not wrong, AAL will be able to fetch a... okay, this installs an ice. It will also be able to fetch a Rashida.
Okay.
During the start of turn. Yes.
Oh, and that can fire, right? Oh, yeah, no, we already opted this turn.
Yeah, so op can fire during the start of turn PAW.
Yeah.
To get a Rashida, which will do its thing during the start of turn.
Oh, very good. Yeah, that's super important.
Don't ask me how that works. It is op sorcery. I do not mess with wizards.
Yeah, there's a fadeability window at the start of your turn before start of turn trigger, so you can just go ahead and pop the AAL there. That gets a Rashida. Rashida fires, then you do mandatory draw. Very, very important. Let alone the AAL does give you credits. Now, Augustus does look like flooded up. If no Spin Doctors and no Jackson Howards, there's no reason. In theory, you can install the Rashida or the AAL on top of the SDS to get into archives. But I wonder if Augustus is actually going to try and not res certain types of ice. I don't know what hit the heap. We can't check it because it's a replay, but I think it was either an MK Ultra or Black Orchestra, which again, you can only install in the heap in the right circumstance, and that circumstance is finding res dice.
Yes. Although I will say that Augustus is incentivized to get this SDS off the table one way or another, because there is like a not insignificant risk that Knight from Chess will just be able to hard install the breaker. Because you are allowed to do that with bin breakers.
Oh, for sure.
You're not obligated to install them from the heap.
Yeah. Now, of course, Clan Vengeance, at any point, if Knight from Chess is feeling a bit worried, you can't just fire it. It trashes one random card. That's not great. You can always get that 1 net damage a turn by running the vanilla. If there's nothing behind it, well, at least now there is. I wonder if you just run it anyways to charge your Clan Vengeance. Knight from Chess here needs some econ, though. That's probably the bigger issue. And in theory, the 0 in hand does get you there if you want to click for credit. And there you
go.
So just getting on the table.
So running server 1.
The cards we need to find and trash are Jeeves model Biroids, and you need to make sure Augustus can res enough cards, because you have Mutually Assured Destruction that can trash a lot of resed cards. There's the Markiel, getting a Rashida, putting her in server 5.
What is an upgrade in 5? Interesting.
Virus Suite, I guess. You're playing CVS to go get 2-costers?
Yeah.
So Rashida's going to fire here. Very interesting. There is a line there that you can do where you can crack Markiel and put a bite or a snare in server 1. And I think Knight from Chess has to touch it, and it would have won the game on the spot, but nobody's doing that combo.
Extremely cursed interaction, but you are allowed to do it. So here goes probably, Jeeves. Are we going for the kill already?
We could be. We have 2 cards in hand. We have 2 res stuff.
Yeah, we could have it. We have this Clan Vengeance.
Yeah. So firing the Clan Vengeance, trashing 3 random cards, this has to land well, because right now Mutually Assured Destruction into high profile target just ends the game. 2 tags is 4 meat damage here, and Augustus will get a click back. There's the Mad. It looks like we have it.
We have it. We just have it. All right.
High profile target does 4 meat damage there very cleanly. Scrappy game. Knight from Chess has the pressure there. Couldn't get the second Clan Vengeance down, but just whiffing on what was a massive hand size anyways. So I don't know if any of those were 2-ofs, but 2 Mad, 1 HPT. Unfortunately, did not hit the 1 HPT. That's the one card you had to hit there. Well,
these have been some pretty fast games so far.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's 2 5-minute games, which Eternal Super League, that is just the thing that happens. These decks go fast, which, hey, if you want to jam a lot of games, that's a nice way to do it. All right, we're going to be jumping over to the next game here, which is, again, Augustus versus Knight from Chess. We're going to flip the sides of the table. Personal Evolution, you played against us last week, didn't you?
Yes, I'm excited to see if Augustus Blinggeist is going to be able to do better against it. There is a lot of drip economy in this guy. So, and as we all know, Geist with all the trash can draw stuff can be quite unkillable if he wants to be. Yeah. So I'm excited to see how this goes.
I know Augustus has kind of had a bad run through the early part of the Eternal Super League, just being hit by currents. And I don't think this Personal Evolution deck will hard current you. It probably will hit your hand size, but it looks like we're going to be able to do all the bling fun stuff that we want to. Like one of my favorite cards in all of Netrunner, Street Peddler. Yo, that's good. This is good. Other side of the table, mind you, these Street Peddlers all now are like a +2 credit card and a card draw. You can do it instant speed. Probably fires the bling too. Otherwise, Knight from Chess has the cohort, going to trash some cards, and there are some big bursts you have to worry about in this format. Specifically, I guess Philotic Entanglement. You have to worry about what is the card that there's an asset that if you touch it, if you lose a side game, you lose your whole hand. You know the one?
Oh, Psychic Field?
Yeah,
Psychic
that's
Field,
the one.
Yeah.
Like just touching unadvanced cards actually can be quite scary in this format. Psychic Field's the one that gets me the worst.
Honestly, this just looks to me like, society if scarcity of resources didn't exist.
It's good.
Is like the meta we're gonna live in.
This is the sort of Eternal I know I want to play. And look at all these cards there. Ooh, stopping in the track with the Genetics Pavilion. So you can only draw 2 cards. And it looks like we have drawn our 2 cards this turn, but that was actually on Knight from Chess's turn. So we're going to be able to draw 2 more. You do have to bring that card down.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So importantly, Genetics Pavilion doesn't do anything on the corp turn. It says the runner cannot draw more than 2 cards during any of their turns.
Whoa. Yeah, I don't think I realized that.
If Augustus is doing all this stuff during Knight from Chess's end of turn 2, it's not really going to matter to that card. And unfortunately, Augustus now has some info on what servers priority hits.
Yeah. Sporting D-Res though. But yeah, Knight from Chess is going to get the credit D-Res the card. So we know that's on the table. So unfortunately, Augustus can't not use that information. But having the Stone Ship as a panic res is only important. That card still has a big butt. It's 5 trash cost. So Augustus really has to like worry about taking that down right now. We do have a Miss Bones though. Shouldn't be that hard.
Okay, here comes Bones, and I expect that Augustus will want to clear out this cohort if nothing else.
Yep.
And thinking about the rest of the board. Yeah, cohort probably goes last.
Yeah, I assume so. I assume that you also just put a Stone Ship on the table. Like you don't need the cards that are on top of the blink here, but like Stone Ship just means like, oh, I'm going to draw 3 cards and just not die to any surprise. Looks like we're going to start with our first surprise here in door number 4. Looks like we got some lag here. That's okay. We'll get through this. Lost connection, reconnected. Perfect. Yeah, like what are you hitting here that you're worried? Is a bite going to knock your hand out in a bad spot? I don't think so. You have 2 Stone Chips, so like one survives.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And we have like no free lunch for tag removal and card draw of Geist.
Yeah.
And it does represent like a really big hit to Knight from Chess's like credit pool if we try and fire a bite. I mean, who knows? It might actually be snare, right? There's like you can play up to 6 of those things in this format.
Yeah, stings, bites, breach domes. There's so much like random damage you can put in a deck. Even just, yeah, sting does way more damage than you remember because it's personal evolution. So every agenda does at least 1 damage.
Yeah.
Struggling a wee bit here.
Janet is trying to tell Augustus not to check the server.
That's the best ice you could get is a bad connection. Oh, really bad connection turns out. We're going to relog in. Again, this is a replay. Not a replay, but a recording. So we get to see this 4th wall breaking Netrunner magic. Woof. Bit of a struggle here. But looks like we're back in. Okay, it's a Museum of History.
Museum. Oh, yeah, that has got to go, right?
I think so. Hey, notably, is this above a 49 card deck? Yeah, it has to be, right?
I do think yes, it is a 54 card PE.
Yeah, and again, there is a clause on this. You can save the influence. This card, I mean, like you're here, you have Museum of History. I'm never super concerned about this unless they can do something really gross with it, which like maybe shuffling back snares is. There is a Fut not getting rezzed. Again, maybe not the board state for Fut, but oh, apologies. I don't have any of the cards apparently from my scan of Elevation, but Cohort's going to go down. And I'm assuming we're going to just do a clean sweep. Actually, no, leaving on the table the
crowdfunding. We get to see the thing.
Oh, the Blink crowdfunding interaction?
Crowdfunding Blink combo.
That's sick. So, okay, how this works is crowdfunding gets installed at the end of your turn if you've made 3 runs from your bin, and then Blink misses the discard trigger on Blink because it's already happened. So you get to start your turn with the card on it. That's like a really cool interaction. All right, we get a boomerang. Same old thing. Just a bit of recursion. Get a bit more tempo there with a credit and a card draw off of Mind You As. We haven't seen a transfer or a siphon. I'm assuming you're playing cards like that in Criminal.
Yes. I can't remember exactly what Augustus's point spread was, but definitely at least one of those cards is around. And I think Augustus is interested in checking the board. We have drawn 1 card.
Ooh, Bagulter.
Ooh, that might be a relevant install against PE.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're gonna have to put that on the table. And we also have spy cameras, which are just such a smooth, easy playing Geist. There's the Pavilion Res. But you do want to make sure that there's no Spin Doctors or Jackson Howards or shuffle effects on the table, which right now Augustus is actually challenged to deal with a lot of assets on the board. I don't know if you can just probably let something go through, but we'll see where this limited economy is gonna go, because a lot of this money is. Oh, we're able to draw 1 more? Okay, just install, no run.
We just click draw. Yeah,
cool.
It was I believe it was 1 draw off of the the no free lunch pop and then a click to draw. The rest were Blink triggers. One a Keeling.
Yeah, I don't.
I guess we have to.
I don't have the art for Keeling, but that thing will eventually kill you. Every power counter is 1 less hand size. I don't remember if she's 3 or 4 to trash, but you do need a res at the end of the runner's turn.
It's a 4.
Woof, big number.
Yeah, discard 1 more.
So yeah,
looks like we'll probably expect this boomerang to go.
Yeah, I imagine so. Maybe you don't need every spy camera, but again, at a minimum, it's a credit and a card draw and information. That seems quite nice.
No, he discarded a spy cam. All right.
Cool. I think the boomerang makes sense. Like if you have to challenge Keeling this turn, but there's the cohort as well. So we're going to be drawing deeper. Mind you, the Spin Doctor means you can throw out anything and you're not too stressed. And it actually does get hard to check archives in this matchup. If there's multiple stings and a breach dome and a shock, that's just massively lethal.
And all that stuff. And we are just going wide. All right.
Yep. You think you're playing around Regenesis here? Like, do you have to?
Ooh, that's an interesting question, Richard. I feel like not on this credit total. Maybe if like Knight from Chess was a little bit more solvent, we could consider it. Like the card I'm more scared of is like Bladderwort.
Yeah.
Probably.
Or what's it called? The bioethics, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a fall guy. Mind you, that's the second core set's art of it. I'm more used to the one on the screen. That is just like an easy 2 credits, 3 credits, and a card draw technically. We have some panic card draw, but with Pavilion, you have to watch out because at this point we might have drawn our 2 cards as much as, I guess Bling does beat the card draw tax, which is kind of sick.
Crowdfunding on Bling is really nice because you are not obligated to install it. It will fall off at end of turn. And then I think by my math, it will fall off at the same time as
I think so.
The first crowdfunding time's out. So both of them will come back in together and do the thing again.
Yeah, that's actually kind of sick. Fall guy, 2 credits and still got a card draw there. We're going to start here with the Keeling. Again, very expensive. It is Florida trash. So I don't know if you leave a credit on Moons. Sorry, on Miss Bones. I don't think you do. It doesn't seem like we have any synergy there.
Yeah. Okay, so cohort.
Okay.
And we are not obligated to make another run this turn. So Augustus.
If you do, I think you can actually install the crowdfunding that's on the Bling because you can discard it, then install it at end of turn. So the third one actually has a bit of value.
That's true. That's true.
It looks like that's not the case.
Just click for credit.
Yeah. Keep our money up, Rashida. This is like really tricky. Augustus has to continue setting up and drawing through the deck and playing all these cards while still respecting the table. And Knight from Chess has had reasonable money and every turn has been pretty comfortable just installing 3 cards and saying it's not easy for you to check 3 cards. This turn, it might be okay. We're getting a card draw off the crowdfunding. So we'll see if Augustus gets there. But another Street Peddler is going to open up so much.
Oh, and another crowdfunding. Okay.
Very cool.
So if we manage to end our turn with more than over hand size, we can discard crowdfunding and get all 3 of them back.
There's a hostile.
That's quite significant. Hostile is a significant rest for Knight from Chess.
Yeah, this thing usually has to go down on the spot because this is not first time per turn like architecture. This is every time for infrastructure. The proto version of this was also in Jinteki, but Knight from Chess is now down to 1 credit. So you're right. There's not much threat on the table besides a Rashida, but these cards have been here for a turn. It could still be 2 Rashidas. Down to 3 credits. We do have a Panic Econ button with our Stone Ship, but I think we want to keep that for a turn right before, some Ronin fire thing happens. So I do think we want to make a bunch of runs today. See what happens.
Yeah, and I believe like this Stone Ship will run into the Genetics Pavilion at some point. The second one now here, by the way.
Yep. So now you have to commit. Yeah,
tracking the first one now.
It's 10 credits to get your card draw over 2 a turn. So that seems pretty rough. Still haven't found an agenda yet. And Knight from Chess is probably playing a ton of small points. Spin?
Oh, Spin Doctor. Oh, I kind of want to trash this.
I don't know. Can you? It looks like we do.
Yeah, and then I think we just install this crowdfunding manual.
Yeah, I could see it.
Okay.
Because now we get 2 crowdfundings.
Oh my goodness.
That interaction is so damn cool. Unfortunately, the corporate grant, which actually would be really good on low credits here, that is stuck there. You can't. Oh, no, you can play it next turn. You can definitely play it.
Yeah, you play next turn.
Yeah, for sure.
Not a big deal.
We're drawing up.
And we draw 3 cards on top turn. Don't care about Genetic Pavilion.
This matchup's kind of cool. We do have the Bloody Strike and the corporate grant, so I do think Augustus definitely overcorrected, or sorry, maybe corrected when it comes to the current hate that Armand just totally folds to. It's a Street Peddling.
So we went click 1 install, or click 1 play the Corp Grant, click 2 play the Street Peddler. We are thinking about this Bling now, I guess.
I think we're asking if the corporation wants to res before the corporate grant takes the credit. On the Street Peddler install, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have an account siphon. We have a hostage, which is 2 clicks to go find your Street Peddler. At this point, they should be coming up. We only have 10 cards left in the stack. And that action in hand seems important. I don't know if we lose it if we're cooked or not. I'm assuming we have some weird buffer drive recursion, or I guess same old thing. You're fine.
We have same old things, right?
There's a sting. Now Employee Strike is not online, hitting 2 damage. We hit a Wake Implant and a Boomerang. So the first point for Augie. That means it's going to be harder for Knight from Chess to dispel the current next turn. There's a 3rd crowdfunding. Let's go.
So crowdfunding's 2 eternal points, and we see the account siphon, of course, it's worth 3. Not recalling if there's anything else.
We haven't enforced curfew.
Anything else worth points in the deck?
I'm assuming this will be dispelled
so-
immediately, but this does reduce your hand size. This was the truly neutral current at 0 cost. Checking the server as a hostile infrastructure for 5 credits it's pretty expensive, but we do have to make sure we take that down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just got down to 4 because of the curfew.
Yeah. And next turn, we're going to
What's it?
start our turn drawing 2 off of the 2 crowdfundings that are in sync.
That's true.
like-
Yeah, so that will activate the genetics permit. Okay, FUT and an ice.
But and an ice. I don't know. I think you can just face check this on 3 credits. I'm assuming it's an enemy or a sentry that can scare you. Looks like we're going to find out together. No boomerangs here, just saying we can break code gates, we can break barriers. It's an enemy, which no surprise. It looks like this deck just wants to do as much damage as it can. It did take out the Ashen and Diversion. So if there is some sort of archives or heap hate, I do think Armand can find, Augustus can find it a bad situation where you do just lose your Ashen. I don't know if we're expecting an arc lockdown here or a blacklist or something like that.
That's a very a blacklist seems more like up Knight from Chess's like jam, at least in this style of deck. I'm not sure like whether they're gonna be able to defend it though. Okay, Sting is another 2 damage.
Yep. Now that means the third sting is going to
Starting hurt
do
a little bit.
the third sting does what? I never remember the math on this. It's like 3 to 4 damage now. It's X plus 1 plus
It
1.
is 4 damage including PE.
Yeah.
Yes. Wait, hold on. We have employee strike as well as okay. Wait, I didn't realize that we also had strike, but
Oh, yeah.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I guess it's just this down losing to currents. Now with 1 card in hand here on 0
I mean,
credits. Like this is so risky, but Knight from Chess can't do anything here on 0 credits. But there is technically with more credits, many lethals that could happen here.
yeah. Augustus, just drawing up. I don't know how much he has to worry about here with like Corp on 0. Like the pavilions, of course, annoying, but we've established that he can play around them. There goes the last crowdfunding. So we expect him to make 3 runs this turn, probably
Yeah.
on centrals now.
It's really important you get the crowdfundings on the table before you do same old thing Ashen, just so that they don't like jump out of that loop. Because that is your 3 credits a turn, which is like so much of the Geist economy here. Bottom 2 of the deck, I think, has another tech trader which you want to find, but we'll see here we swipe HQ to get some like cheap accesses and not have to deal with bites or snares. We're actually trashing this? Whoa.
Okay.
Removing a tag, that's 5 credits in a card draw. We'll see if we trash the second one, but the cup is going to deal with the second one
we
here.
cupped this. Okay, sure.
Can you
And I guess we
safely?
sweep HQ last.
Yeah, but can you safely do that? Is there anything you die to? Like, do you die to?
With normal employee strike, there's a chance, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think you have to do the send here because you could die to like Fuji Sting is like 4 damage. No,
There's
maybe you're safe to
something-
that.
Yeah, so-
Oh, we didn't make 3 runs either, which is kind of surprising. Now there's a FUT.
that is true. Here's fun. I mean, this anemone goes through. We go through this anemone for 0 credits.
Yeah.
Because of the Wigolter.
Ooh, same old thing.
Okay, here comes.
So it looks like
same old thing.
the 3rd tech trader was lost somewhere earlier. That's fine. 2 is definitely good enough. But
It might have
Galter,
been. Yeah, it might have been on one of the
yeah, like Street Peddler
one of
doubles.
the other. Yeah, peddlers. Correct.
So here we make our runs, and with 1 credit, you're not worried about ice. You're worried about losing a breaker, but we'll see what sort of pressure is here. I'm very interested to see if Augustus just sends the cup. It looks like we're considering it. Yeah, we do it.
There we go.
No cards to draw. We're gonna get 2 more credits, and we're gonna see 3 cards from hand there. Sting, the last one is
Oh,
huge.
that's the first thing.
That's 2 damage.
That's 2 damage.
Melodic, that's a huge
Another
one.
damage. That got a little spooky. I'm not gonna lie.
Now we can run archives, but Philotic is like so big. So now there's no burst agendas because Philotic is the one big burst. If you can like Audacity out, does a massive amount of damage, let alone the Sting does massive damage. So while Gus is sitting on 1 card in hand, Knight from Chess would need a ridiculous line like Planogram into Neural EMP and Neural EMP. Looks like that's not the case. And Augustus here would probably just go ahead and like same old thing for Ashen and just redo everything.
Yeah. I suppose like the reason that Augustus wanted to say more thing to kill all the gen paths is because if that is on the like it will stop the Ashen from drawing you more than 2 cards off of the
Oh,
reshuffle. Which
yeah, that's cool.
could get a little spooky.
No, off the Ashen, it looks like we lost a current. We lost the same old thing. That's fine. I think that's a Waken plant, a transfer, and account siphon. But still, Augustus is just like playing total control here. Museum of History res in the remote server is not a big deal. We'll see what Knight from Chess wants to shuffle back. But at this point, like you lose to any Axis that is a 2-pointer, which I don't know what other 2-pointers you're playing, but more accurately, an Obokata or Fuji or any of the big ones.
Yeah, Obokata seems like a good shout here.
Are we playing Feudal?
Style of deck.
You think Feudal AI is in here?
That would make a lot of sense as well.
Cool card.
I feel like I did I die to a Feudal?
It sounds right.
Against Knight from Chess last week? I don't recall.
You did blow up.
There might have been something of that sort.
Yeah. Checking server 15 here. We have 13 credits. We have the compilations, the hostile infrastructure. This doesn't trash cards, so it beats the hostile a couple times over, but with only 1 credit. We'll see if the museum is prioritized. Sometimes you don't care about it. You can shuffle back stuff. Server 15, though, House of Knives, that will take you to game point. I love this agenda, but that is now truly game point here, losing a same old thing.
Yeah, you don't care too much about it. And yeah, here comes the museum takedown.
Galter has really good numbers of breaking small stuff for free, and museum for 3 credits. Gonna hit the bin. Augustus is gonna start next turn with 3 more cards and 3 more credits, and a cup threatening HQ. Knight from Chess feels cornered.
No card burst, but it doesn't matter with Knight from Chess only on this low credit total, and I expect we'll see the re-sweep here.
Yeah, just cycling through our cards.
No, we just blinging.
I wonder if you just play.
We just blinging.
Do you just spy camera and wait for an agenda on the top and not take any risks? I think this is the turn you want to make a risk because you can't fire Bite or Sting, and you want to trash them. Oh, there's a Fuji on top.
Well, there it is. Okay, we found our answer.
I mean, we got all the breakers. I can't imagine there being a shuffle effect there. There's the Fuji. You do win the game before any text fires. Well played to both players. What a game.
I'm so happy before the ESL has ended that we finally got to see like this deck do its thing. Because when it does its thing, it's insane.
It was so heartbreaking. I'm such a big Geist fan and I love it. And Bling is like such an inspired addition with the cool rules interactions. And we just saw Augustus end up again on the wrong side of the current war way too many times. And getting to see all the moving parts is just an absolute treat. Well played to both players. Cool. On that note, if I'm not mistaken, that takes us to halfway through, again, the penultimate week. This is week 8. If I'm not mistaken, maybe I just talk loud enough and the stream delay will catch up. But I think we're going to be joined by a changing of the guard. So maybe an Axu and a Warlock will appear if we all like, close our eyes, put our hands together and hope just a bit hard enough.
Yeah, and pray hard enough. Maybe Axu and Warlock will show up.
Before I think Jai, you're probably heading out on your way. You had a massive weekend of streaming. Again, check out Jai's channel. I'll let you do your own plugs, but anything you want to shout out before that's a wrap tonight?
I just came out of a 16 hours worth of streaming on this weekend. I thought to myself, what's another 2 hours more on ESL, right?
Yeah.
It's all good. But yeah, Apex Showdown was amazing. Abraham was amazing as usual. Shout out to Leah for winning. Big Leah fan in the house. And I guess the last thing is enjoy my last week of ESL games coming up very soon. I think Axu and Warlock will be on that. Not very proud of my runner gameplay, but goddamn, you should see my cop. That thing is beautiful.
Excited for that. Jai, thanks so much for taking the time and sharing a microphone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Likewise.
Thank you. Cheers.
Yeah. Peace.
And with that, we should be joined by Warlock and Axu. How's it going, y'all?
Yo, hello. Pretty well.
Yeah, 100%. Going great.
Perfect. Welcome, y'all. As you might, we've had some fantastic games today. I know you've caught a bit of the last ones at least, but this brings us to the halfway point. So I'm going to throw myself on mute and y'all can take over. So good luck and have fun, eh?
Sounds good.
100%. All right. So we got, this is the second half of the 4 matches we have this week. And starting off with OF15 versus Messi. I think, is OF15 still undefeated in the tournament?
That's correct, yes. OF15 has not dropped a single game so far. They have 4 more games to play. We'll see if they can go all the way undefeated until the end. I think Messi and the Knight from Chess are the 2 opponents that they have still to face off against.
Yeah, interested to see what's going to happen. Have we seen this max list before? Doesn't look familiar, at least. I might have missed it last week.
It looked like a regular-ish max, if that's a thing. It's like Ice Destruction, but it it's not playing Cipher, which is surprising.
Okay, that's interesting. And luckily, Ice Destruction probably not the matchup you want to be playing into IG. IG probably utilizing more assets and other ways to tax you out. Rumor Mill going to be kind of helpful into it, possibly. Depends a lot on what options the corp actually draws into and plays early on.
Especially because I think Mezzi is on an IG build that heavily relies on killing to set up the damage. And we've seen Mezzi do this play a bunch in the past, just installing and then over-installing on the same server to make sure that she can put face-down archive poison in archive so that it's tough for the runner to access them and still triggers the ID.
Yeah, 100%. Early on, at least, we have a couple of Gachapons coming in. Luckily or unluckily, R15 drawing all the copies of Strike Fund. A fun interaction with it normally being trashed from the deck, like at least 2/3 of the time. But no such luck here.
Yeah, getting the free 2 credits and sometimes 2 cards with the max trigger, very interesting. Although FNT15 going for a click 1 basically forced Keyhole install. They didn't have to install it, but I think it might be the way to play against this IG. There's a chance that OF just ignores the board completely, and if Mezzi can't present enough damage to kill them in time, they can just find points in R&D.
Yes, good interaction being pointed out in the JNet chat, where Keyhole cards go actually face up, I believe. So will not add to the tax that IG is also going to get. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, absolutely important for this. You don't want to fuel the IG and then have to pay extra to trash all the assets.
Yeah, 100%.
OF here in the tank after their first click, I think deciding if they want to check some of the board, which is not too expensive to trash so far, or if they just want to send their R&D, and how much they need to play that Rumor Mill they're holding in hand, or if they can wait.
Yeah, looks like hovering the Rumor Mill, sending it first click, second click, and then deciding to go in with the keyholes. Flutterware Swarm Receptions, all solid options.
Kakarembo kind of tells me that this deck might be on Regenesis, although it's a great card to just flip all the archives and reset all the tax that IG puts on the runner.
Yeah, 100%.
Healing being found. That's one of the cards I think Mezzi wants to use, and IG usually not famous for their recursion, and with Rumor Mill on the table, they definitely don't have access to any asset-based recursion. We've seen a simulation reset in the deck. That might be how Mezzi gets cards back, and she instantly, I think, click 2 clears up the current with an enforced curfew.
Yeah, has to get rid of that. OF15 probably kind of sad with it. And yeah, just any keyholes in there. It might actually come down to, like, does Mezzi actually find anything to protect R&D with? Because this keyhole will be digging through it quite efficiently.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of ice. We've seen a crick on in the list of cards that OF could trash, but not much else. Here, deciding between the ice, the asset, or possibly into the sides to go for the ice instead of putting the point in R&D. Very curious choice.
Making sure that is not coming up anytime soon.
And using the curfew to discard the crowdfunding is an extremely interesting play. I totally missed that. OF is down to 4 hand size because of the current, and so they get to install the crowdfunding for free thanks to that.
Yeah, just a nice drip that's going to come down. Probably not. Oh, and ice coming down on R&D, meaning that we just cannot pressure that for free. Can just key Parasite it possibly, depending on what the ice actually is, though.
The one downside of Parasite is that it only works on face-up ice, and so OF would have to first check, at least face check that ice on R&D, and then Parasite it and hope to kill it soon. CI IG doesn't have a lot of very strong ice, especially Crick. Also on R&D doesn't have the extra strength, so there's a chance that checking this ice is enough. And the Devil Charm draw is amazing for OF here. It's going to quicken the time it takes to kill that Crick with Parasite.
You might see an undo click. Realizing the window, you have to use the Gachapon earlier, so you can actually get anything on it.
There's a chance we find the right program, and there's 2 chisels on that pile.
Yeah, time to delete this Crick, and I think we're going to dig more cards on R&D with this keyhole then.
Friggin' Devil Charm, the fairly basic interaction for anyone playing Standard right now as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, still Eternal viable. Typically, we
Yes.
do see that interaction happen with Sephora, so R15 kind of playing a slower version of the pointed deck, I believe.
Yeah, using the points for crowdfunding and rumor mill, so not enough space in the point budget to also fit the extremely useful console, which we also like quite expensive. So there's an interesting approach to make the deck a little bit more cheap in general to run.
Yeah, 100%.
Warmer some good Straz.
Yeah, a couple more installs. And do we see an second ice come down on R&D here?
Mezzy has to hope to find something to plug the hole on R&D. I think OF only found 3 points so far, but not impossible to access more in the future.
It's also 3 points that probably necessitates you running archives multiple times, because the Psy game is kind of annoying to fight through.
Yeah, the Future Perfect, one of those old defensive 5-3s that require the runner to win a side game to steal it unless it is installed. So from archives, it's just quite annoying. And if the archive is poisoned enough to deal enough damage to OF, you might not be able to run it multiple times. So probably trying to get enough points to win without having to win that side game.
Yeah, exactly.
And just not finding the points. What are the chances we mill out the corp here? Because we're trashing 4 cards every turn.
Oh, Bacterial?
That's a great hit.
Now 6 points in archives.
3 of which Mezzy can't safely keep in archives with a correct guess on the side game. First Confused 2 federal fundraising. So very interesting build on Mezzy's side. A lot of tempo positive assets that we've seen come out in Liberation, so quite recently compared to some of the other cards. They're showing themselves in this IG list. When that's 3 damage coming out of all of those assets to Bioetic Association, and 1 Bloodward is enough to mow down some of the cards in OF's hand. Although I think we might have missed the damage on the Bloodward. We didn't have enough to
I don't think
res.
we didn't have enough. Yeah, exactly. Kind of interesting. So server 1 and 5 could just be traps that we need to overinstall at some point. Because
but it
those
could be
did
agendas.
not get rest. Oh, could
There's
be.
a chance.
There is a world where you run server 1 and 5 just to check, and then continue keyholing. Because probably you are not able to fight through all of these bioethic associations.
Although the strike fund from the max trigger is definitely going to help. OF back in with 8 credits, definitely wants to run 3 times to get the crowdfunding on the board. And I think you can find it in you to trash 1 of the 2 bioethics. We'll see if we manage to trash more or not.
Drawing up and running archives, hoping for 1 card to be discarded. Two Future Perfects, but have to play side game for both of those. Also 3 Breach Domes can hit stuff like Steelskin Scarrings off top of the dome, but no Parasite. There is this Steelskin
That's
Scarrings on
exactly
top of
what
the deck.
happens.
2 extra cards being drawn. Bacterial, that's a free steal, and these other ones you just have to guess.
Deal. Now Mezzy gets to select some of these top 7 cards in her deck. Either add them to HQ, trash them in your archives, or set them on an R&D in any order. Like a famous trick of like sending more points or ideally sending more archive poison in archives. Those cards come in face down, and the runner cannot flip them up until they run again on archives. But you still get to access them, and so if there's anything that deals damage, you have to take that. And Shock is exactly one of those. Second copy of Shock.
Double Shock.
And it's all down to this.
Oh, stealing the first one?
Wins the first Psy game? Hold on.
Hold on. Second one? Are we rolling again?
Is this gonna be another 2? Oh, and wins the second one as well!
Oh my god!
That
Double
is a
stealing.
wild game.
And yeah, that out of nowhere kinda is eating like 8 damage in total of this run on archives, and just guessing one out of 3 twice in a row instantly.
Absolutely calling that there's enough points in archives and finding probably the worst agenda possible, because another one that you have to win the side game to steal, and then still winning both side games is a legendary way to win the game, honestly.
And yeah, I think O15 might be struggling if Mezzy gets this punch back. 2 bioethics will be sniping cards from hand. This Bladder Ward, yeah, just sniping everything. And yeah, just 12 cards left in R&D here.
Side game bid 2. Side game bid. Side game wins 2. Like absolute, like 100% win rate on the famously 33% chance for the runner to win those.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. After such a game, let's jump into the second game, see how that one plays out. I have to warn you folks, we had to re-record this one. We unfortunately lost the recording from Mezzy. And so we ended up having to record a replay of the game, which I'll slow down a little bit because the original speed at which the game went was a little quick. So it might be easier to catch all of the game if we slow it down just a little bit. But yeah, you won't see Mezzy's mouse move, and some of the actions might be a little quicker in between the clicks. We did our best to recover as much of the game. You should be able to see the game. Unfortunately, it's not exactly the same quality as the other games in terms of seeing what the player think and get the flow of the game. But we've seen this Haley Kaplan deck out of Mezzy play against what I think is a combo kill op that OF is playing.
Mm-hmm.
And let's jump into it.
Yeah, combo kill ob probably going kind of faster than typically Haley might be expected to go. And might be a matchup coming down on how fast the runner can find the tech, if there is any in the matchup. Actually, a surprisingly slow start for O15. Just getting 1 counter for this Estelle Moon. At least can be switching stuff up with Baz.
Baz is an uncommon card. The game does not seem to want to slow down, so I'll pause it here and there to just go over some of the plays. But yeah, Baz not a fairly common card when it comes to kill ob. Although it makes sense if you want an extra click here and there, and it fetches the Jeeves, I guess.
Yes, I think fetching Jeeves made portion of the deck. Also can fetch Estelle Moon like it did here, and James is again has to kick this one down. Installing a bunch of cards, a trick shot in hand, and Employee Strike actually slows down the corp quite a bit. Cannot be winning in next turn specifically, but just drawing up, trying to find the combo pieces.
As he click to challenging R&D finds a border control off the top using the trick shot. And a high profile target, not what you want to see. Hopefully we can force the shuffle out of Ob. Now we're just challenging the tour guide and turning it off with an Hush.
Hush for a tour guide is kind of interesting. Just getting rid of everything. Sniping the table also. Estel Moon cannot even go to safety with this employee strike on the table. Yeah, kind of struggling to fight these currents. Sometimes even going as far to play something like News Now Hour. But not here. Message is clearing the table, and the Corp in a tough spot here.
Ob just can't find any value out of this as long as you're playing under employee strike. So as long as Messi can force OF to shuffle, to use all the cards before the current gets cleared, that denies a lot of value out of the Corp right now.
Yeah, and Corp just on 5 credits probably cannot rest many of the eyes here. Pinnacle threading being sent in. As blind, funny enough, giving the credits on the res specifically, so you can still get the value out before Pinhole actually goes and kills it.
Messi on the lower side of credits right now, that Parisha is doing wonders, and we'll see if she can challenge Server 7 as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, still looks like we're still digging for the tech choices here. Rashida coming down, accelerating OF15 quite a bit. Finally finding the counter current with.
Finding it with pivot. So
yeah.
Triple click to just clear the current. That tells you how much OF needs that current out of the game for now.
And sadly, we do see the second employer strike right in Messi's hand. And probably being played, instantly just send it in there. Stop the Corp from doing anything again. Pivoting again for the PayPal implementation.
That's a deja vu for people.
Yeah, counter current war. How we missed you. Otherwise, it's just installing everything. A lot of cards just being installed, a lot of value generated, and finds the last PayPal implementation raw. So again, Messi under threat here.
It is the last PayPal implementation for OF. We'll see if he has enough more preemptive action to shuffle them back. But right now, doesn't have a lot of access to more currents.
Mm-hmm.
As he finds a Malia and a border control off the top, and that challenges Server 7, has all of the breakers necessary. With a clone chip to fight any code gate, gets through the border control, and OF just pops the executive bootcamp, finds Bass.
I think we might have almost enough points, or almost enough kill pieces. Bass can get our Jeeves, and just missing 1 click, I believe. So needs to get a 3-pointer on 3 credit card onto the table to actually pivot into the Jeeves. Double install.
Forgets to res the moon. That makes sense.
Yeah, that does look like the Bass on table, so we are threatening to win already.
Very interesting for Messi to use that film critic to steal the Atlas, not wanting to potentially get any when stolen trigger on the Corporal, though. Op not famously playing, not famous for playing some of those.
Mm-hmm.
Now jumping in after the indexing with the trick shot, we can expect SDS to be up there.
I think we shuffled the deck with the Estel Moon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That makes total sense. And the Hush once again getting through the tour guide for free.
Oh, and deciding to run the other server.
Just slight mishap here. The players do end up fixing it by hand by trashing the right cards. Messi just slams on the end ground and moves.
Has to challenge the server. Has to challenge server 7 first. You just have to get rid of the Bass that's camping the remote here.
Yeah, any Jeeves or Bass would be bad. Border control is definitely an annoying card to go through, and that ends up being another SDS. Trash to Parisha, that makes sense.
Not using the border control? I the other option for the border control is to switch for a 3-cost ice. So you
But
would
we used the Estelle Moon already, so there's no
Oh
chance.
yeah, Blast from hand.
Install
and look
Blast. Oh, and that finds the Jeeves.
Yeah, that's just enough. Gets the 3 damage and just manages to find the high-profile target for 6 damage on turn 13. Kind of slow for combo op standards, but Haley just not finding the pieces maybe to like actually survive the damage.
Honestly, very interesting use of Blast. I didn't think about the fact that it finds you a click-free Jeeves to install. So quite quite defined, honestly.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what normally people use the same influence for, and other options we have seen are stuff like card hitting news or sprints or something for the consistency. But yeah, that's totally a worthwhile option, just like lets you mark people from hand kind of more efficiently.
Absolutely. The double pivot to clear the currents, not having to find the actual kill piece. Although OF on 12 cards in R&D, so they definitely went through a lot of the cards to get where they are. And I think that marks the 8th week in a row where OF has not dropped a single game.
They're just continuing undefeated. Knight from Chess, I believe OF 15's last opponent, has to take some games out of OF 15 just for so we don't have a undefeated champion.
Let's see if OF can go 16 for 16 or not next week. For now, we have 2 more games left. We are looking at Jai playing against Sidiro. Sorry, started on the wrong game. First game off is Jai running against Sidiro's Corp. We had a bit of a spoiler from Jai on how this game goes. We don't know the results, but Jai wasn't terribly happy about his play. And we have an Andromeda playing against Ob mulliganing, and we'll see if Jai wants to keep this hand or not.
Yeah, a lot of interesting pieces. Icebreakers, some Econ. Against Ob, you need a lot of these kind of fast breaker options a lot of the time to actually be able to challenge the table.
Yeah, landing the first account siphon not as easy when the Corp can defend HQ with a border control. Ventures are not legal in this format yet. The players don't have access to Vantage Point cards just yet, but that would also be something that I'm expecting all players to incorporate in their decks in the future.
Yeah, and really smart pinhole play here. There's no ice protecting anything, but the Ob has to pre-pop the Estelle Moon for it not to be just sniped by the pinhole. So Jai can actually check a different remote with this pinhole threading.
You can also go after whatever the Estelle Moon finds with the Ob trigger. So if you want to clear any Markiel, to make sure that Sidiro doesn't have access to a Rashida from deck at the start of their turn, you can do that. So Pinhole definitely beating all the possibility that Ob can get you through with a single card. Ob thinking here about the play, because if you find the Markiel, you either let Jai trash it for 3 or pop it for a little bit of value, but you're definitely not getting the Rashida. And if you pop the Markiel, Jai gets to check one of the other 2 servers as well.
Yeah, still 3 to trash from Markiel is tough. Of course, it will be going into something even more worse. Choosing Ice Wall on HQ though. That's
Very
one card rest in our grouping of cards. And now can challenge a different server. Jeeves?
Finds the Jeeves right away. Quite a little bit expensive trash turn 1, but one of the ways that Sidiro wins the game if he can manage to res at least 3 cards. Criminal has access to some level of tag tech in the form of Aromaron and maybe No Free Lunch. We'll see if Jai is playing either of those. They come into play later on.
Another other remote, Rashida. A
good
snipe.
Rashida.
Yeah, I cannot let that one go through without any contesting.
1 click left. Jai thinking about his next move. Pondering over the Rebirth or Deducer's Wild. Definitely going to discard the Paperclip as soon as the turn ends.
Kind of an easy discard there.
Yeah.
Choosing again, criminal. The land of different options here. Basically, way more options than any other ID in this specific option pool. Typical choices often stuff like 419 or Leela Patel. Typical options, but deciding to go with Xayah for the credit gain while being able to challenge central servers.
Yeah, that tells me that Jai is probably going to try and get some accesses, find the points before Sidiro can line up a combo kill. Instead of playing the control game, maybe go a little bit more aggressive. Find a couple more credits with the ID and use those to trash the key cards on the board. Neat combo that I don't think Jai is on would be a Hades chart, letting you access a bunch of cards and archives on your R&D or HQ run.
Mhm.
But I don't think Jai is on anything that spicy. It probably wouldn't have hesitated on Xayah if that was the case.
Yeah, feels a bit more like a build around for
Yes.
the slot choices.
Gabe getting a shout out. Very interesting.
Gabe is also one of the typical choices, just getting a free card every HQ run, and often the best cards in your archives is kind of good. Jeeves actually getting red.
Yes.
And do we just see a triple install? Especially with Estel Moon, that's so hype here.
Double install Still Moon on 2 counters, and getting a nice on top of it is quite annoying. Jai has access to Boomerang and can challenge the Estelle Moon. We'll see if we want to expose the eyes or just gain the money. On this is what it looks like the second option is what Jai is going for. Just sending a Bravado on HQ, not wanting to mess with the server for eyes. We have a Paperclip to go through that. We'll gain the credit back with Xayah and finds the mat right away.
Yeah, there's often a situation where you cannot let the corp gain more rest eyes, just because that's more options that they can trash for the mutually assured destruction. Doesn't probably matter here with 2 unrest cards that will turn into tags in the event of it happening, but still a option that you have to keep in mind.
Yeah, Sidiro temporarily low on credits, although the Moon Pop is definitely going to give them some more cash to res some of these cards. Having to pay 3 to trash a Markiel, something that before Ob would be unthinkable, and people would not believe you if you tell them that something that happened. Now a staple of the format sometimes.
Yeah, 100%. Installing Class Act saves Jai for 1 turn here. Does mean Jai has to go down to 1 credit or 0 credits, so the bounce back next turn going to be even harder.
Especially because we don't have any economy card in hand. Like that sure gamble is something, but we're very far from those 5 necessary credits. So it looks like Sidiro is gonna be able to play with that Jeeves on the board for a while. And we'll see if Jai can pull back. The employee strike is something that at least might slow down Sidiro, make sure he can't find the right card with Op, but if he has enough cards on the board, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, might be able to just next turn, even if this employee strike gets played. If we just put like 4 tags on a runner without any credits, sometimes they just cannot clear them.
Yeah, Criminal not famous for slotting cards like Misdirection to save himself from a tag storm, although that would be quite a setback in terms of board presence for Sidiro. So we just have to click for credits.
Not trying to play the employee strike. Just opening up, just saying if Sidiro has it, you have it. And Executive Bootcamp, normally a tutor ability just for a asset, but in this list also getting the ice rest, as we mentioned beforehand, hugely valuable.
Yeah, the first line of text on Executive Bootcamp, not the most common line to use, that's for sure, but it's something that lets you res extra cards, and that's extremely important for the Mutual Assured Destruction combo.
A free vanilla getting rest here.
Access to 4 res cards. Sidero has everything except the high profile target at least. We've seen the Mutual Destruction in hand. We have all enough for res card to fire off the combo.
And we will see it. Oh, Executive Bootcamp also going and getting an asset.
Oh, it turns out I think that's just a JNet implementation error with not being able to use the first line of Executive Bootcamp or something like that. So Sidero popped it and just reinstalled it, but didn't mean to use it.
Oh, sure.
Jai just gonna kill me.
Playing Mutual Assured Destruction. 4 tags into the high-profile target. Same routine that we have seen previously.
Yeah.
Also, Malia blanking the class act would also be blanking stuff like all the tech pieces that we typically see.
Any resource protecting the runner would get disabled there. A Citadel Sanctuary or something similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, just a tough draw for Jai, finding a lot of the early breakers, but not the econ to actually be able to contest the table.
Couldn't find the disruption necessary maybe to stop the corp from actually executing the combo. And CDR with double moons in the top, 15 cards of the deck, running away with the cards and credits and just setting up too fast.
Yeah, 100%.
That, I believe, leaves us with our last game of the night. Or the week. Which is...
Yeah, I believe so. Seeing Aza Group against Liza Talking Thunder. A matchup we haven't seen before here. And somebody needs to stop clicking the buttons.
Yeah, that's on me. Sorry about that.
Interesting matchup. I feel like Aza Group not known for playing tag punishment, so going to be a classic HB versus criminal, just like money fight here.
It will be a fun one for sure. Liza famous for kind of trying to keep the corp down on credits, but some of these Aza Group decks can just duck a bunch of the siphons and transfer of wealth by rezzing cards, and then using fully operational to get a ton of credits back and all the Moon and Lakshmi to find more cards and protect the agendas in HQ.
Mm-hmm. And I think we will see a decent chunk of the game plan here. Going in R&D, get to your 2 draws, get all. This is the actual draw engine fueling the entire deck. Supporting pieces we have Wireless Net Pavilion Paparazzi. We'll be seeing at some point, just making sure you don't die to very popular damage page decks. But in this matchup, you don't even need to install those, so you have kind of completely free hands to do whatever you want.
CDR calling the Gatekeeper on HQ. Nice that goes all the way to 0, so instead it's just a tributary. That's a really annoying one, because CDR, first of all, doesn't have a way to break it right now, and that's just a single card that Jai gets to draw, but any ice install is going to be terrible, and the tributary is going to follow CDR on every run for the rest of the game.
Yeah, getting the draws. Oh, Vitruvius getting sniped first turn. That's 2 points that will not be in the score area for the corpse anymore. And the Tributary's Ice install also important in that you get the Aza trigger as well, so you can just spam out agendas even faster.
Ooh, that's true. I didn't think about that. We'll see if CDR wants to just send the Hot Pursuit through the Tributary turn 1 before Jai can find more ice and protect HQ even more.
Yeah, looking like it.
Looks like it. Yeah, that's the choice for our runner here. If I another Vitruvius.
On luck. That's the only thing you can really say here.
down 4 points turn 1. Sidero check-in server 2 trying to win on turn 1. This is just a Mumbo Temple. We have enough money to trash it, honestly, with all the credits we've gained through the Hot Pursuit. And I instantly using the credits to res a wage worker.
Yeah, bit more of a free wage worker there. And Sidero deciding to trash the wireless net pavilion, just realizing that there's no way that we will play with these resources this game. Just doesn't need to install anything that protects us here.
Makes a little sense. Just doesn't have the money to contest all the resources, and it doesn't look to be a matchup where CDR has to be worried about losing some key pieces like a paparazzi down the line. For now, triple draw.
This match looking kind of tough. Jai having to draw up and click for a credit. Kind of like wasting two of the most important turns in the matches here. And I think Sidero again happy just going through HQ and just pressure out everything.
The account siphon also a quite menacing card in Sidero's hand for now. As soon as Jai goes up in some credits, Sidero could just send him all the way back to 0.
Yeah, Jai definitely needs to keep in mind that is a possibility and kind of keep these unrest assets on the table for the dock at some point.
Tributary finally installing an ice on HQ. And Sidero just touches a Hagen.
And the win condition has been found. Just counter surveillance at some point will be digging almost the entire deck of the corporation. So kind of just now in the spot where you gather up all the money that you can. In the meantime, corporate grant siphoning Jai even more credits. Fall Guy being installed. And trashed by Jai. No, never mind. Yeah, Sidero just taking the credit out of it.
That makes sense. You don't want to offer the corp a chance to trash it, although I don't think Jai would take that.
Yeah, deal. With one credit seems like a tough situation.
Exactly. Very interesting running, like checking and trashing the wage worker. Quite an expensive one, considering Sidero doesn't have a lot of money to play with currently. Although you can expect Jai to generate a lot of value if you leave that on the table. So perfectly.
Yeah, leaving that on the table, getting double installs into a fully operational for 6 credits could be changing the entire direction of the game here.
Definitely. Sidero installing the Fall Guy to drain one more credit from Jai, trying to make sure that he can't res this ice on HQ and just getting to access a fully operational HQ. So one way for Jai to bounce back in money has he the chance to make another board.
Oh, and there's Jeeves. 5 to trash, quite a decent chunk, but just has to send it.
Chiba, unfortunately, already on threat 4, so has a quite tough time to break that tributary.
Good luck breaking tributary for 6, yeah.
Yeah.
And Bounceback is going to be kind of tough, maybe. We do have a Rogue Trading hand. You can install that for 0 and click it once. And that would be 3 clicks to go up to 8, up to 10 or 8, I don't know.
I believe it's 8. It's 18 credits and you get them at batches of 6.
And Estelle Moon might be Jai's savior angel here.
Unfortunately, nothing to install with the Asa trigger, so no way to protect that Estelle Moon, deciding to defend something else in server 3. So probably goading Sidero to just run that Estelle Moon, make sure the asset does not gain even more value.
Yeah, really, that does look likely. Tributary will be drawing us a new card. Just no shot that we're ever breaking it. Also, might be getting a new extra Estelle Moon trigger here.
That's a good point. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Any ice on a new remote would could end up generating a new card. Instead, Jai just protecting what's in server 5 and probably popping the Estelle Moon right away.
Yeah. No, letting it be accessed. Yeah, Sidero even asking for do we pop here?
Instead, just letting the runner access it, probably not wanting to go up in credits and get siphoned down the line. Very interesting play from Jai. Not one I was expecting, honestly.
Silverado has this Mars for Martians for a huge bounce backs at some point. And
right now plays for 4 credits, which is pretty good, but it is a priority event, and so you can only use it on your first click. Who finds a GFI?
Okay.
6 points, play 0, both players on 0 credits.
Then I don't know how Jai is supposed to bounce back from here. Mars for Martian next turn, can it generate you 5 credits? Also rogue trading, if you just install it, no shot Jai can't go and trash it this turn. So will be 12 credits next turn just as a bounce back. Maybe if Jai has a Rashida Jaheen.
There it is.
There it is.
That's a massive bounce back. And we know Jai has a fully operational in hand. We've seen it access Farm HQ. So that's a way that Jai could find a way back into this game. Zero on 0 credits doesn't have a lot of ways to fight this. And honestly, I would be very interested to see if Jai can find the money to just trash the rogue trading. Make sure Zero does not bounce back with that, because clicking that 4 times gets you back on 12 credits, and honestly enough credits to keep fighting all the assets that Jai is going to install.
Yeah, this fully operational has to come down here. Massive 6 credits. Jai actually finally more credits than their corp has, and yeah, just has to get rid of this rogue trading. Otherwise, Lies are getting so much value out of it.
So you're in a tough position here. Can Runner indeed to get 2 cards, has to let the Tributary fire, or we'll see if he ends up instead using the rogue trading, get some money back.
Yeah, rogue trading.
Yeah.
Basically a triple for 6 credits, still decent chunk of value, and Jai has to clear this one also. Oh, a second Rashida. That's 2 on the servers, so servers 3 and 5 both. Rashida's protecting.
Honestly, definitely necessary here for Jai to get back into this game. Sidro, looking at the counter surveillance is probably one of the ways that the deck wins here. Next turn, you can just run and see 7 cards. You only need to find 1 point to win the game.
Yeah, Sidro also can even go rogue trading counter surveillance for the 1 more access here. So would be 7 cards accessed out of R&D.
Jai in the tank. Installed in your remote. I'm expecting an Aza Eyes to cover that up. Honestly, I can't wait to see Aza playing Flood the Market and see what monstrosity comes out of that combination.
Yeah, interesting to see. Yeah, are getting friends in high places. Getting a lot of really key pieces here. Options, Wage Workers, Jeeves. A lot of, if you can get both of those sticking around, it's a lot of clicks in your disposal.
Yeah. Wage Workers, Jeeves, Mumba Temple, and Rashida also, I think, a great pair, and that's what Jai goes for. Some quick cash to res the ice and then keep Rashid around to get an even stronger bounce back next turn. And Sidro hyping up the Mars for Martian, coming in for 6 credits and a whopping 0 cards because we don't have clans cards on the board. And let's see if counter surveillance hits the board. And
Jai has to survive this clan vengeance counter surveillance for 6 cards here. We have
going to be 7 because of the Liza trigger.
Oh, it also gives you. Oh, that's kind of interesting. But still, 7 cards. Jai has been eating a lot of multi-access already, or like a lot of agendas out from central servers.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's like a fair guard somewhere, we're still surviving this, but you never know.
4, 5, 6, and I think that's 7.
Actually,
There's no
surviving
agenda.
7.
Surviving the multi-access.
Sidero down 2 credits here.
Had to go for the play, I think. Now challenging HQ, trying to find an ice that he can go through with that account siphon. Also, very interesting, Tributary staying on server 4, meaning that I think Jai really wants that that other remote ice stop so he can use it for some fully operational value next turn. Resin the Spin Doctor, drawing some of the cards that he knows are not agendas.
There might even be more agendas in HQ here.
Oh, that's a good point.
Oh, Rashid drawing up. R&D not
Almost
completely.
fresh.
Yeah, exactly. And Jai with 6 cards has to do something here to start actually scoring these agendas. Otherwise, the runner can just find one access somewhere, just snipe one more point.
6 credits, 6 card more than Jai's hand size right now. In the tank, thinking through the lines.
Yeah, also 6 credits not super comfortable.
Oh, Cybernetic scored. So
yeah, never mind.
Getting to keep some of the cards. Never mind.
Oh, de-racing it?
That was just
you can do that? Nah, actually cheating. There's no card ability to let you de-race that. Somebody call a judge.
Might be a small while here as Jai thinks through all the possibilities. We know server is a Momba temple, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is where you actually put the elevator music on the background while Jai takes the thing. I think like 15 minutes probably is going to be how much you have time on your small dinner break here.
That sounds about right. One thing I'm almost positive we'll see out of Jai, I think we've seen it on top R&D, is that Jai is probably going to install Lakshmi Smart Fabrics at some point to protect any agenda that's in HQ and possibly any agenda that's on R&D. Click 1 is install on R&D. We'll see if Azza wants to put a second ice on top of it. So just to make sure Sidero can't get another cheap, quote unquote, counter spells. Never mind, taking that back. Second undo of the turn for now.
Yeah, the 15 minutes looking more and more likely. Also, a Netrunner card, like cool reference.
Yes, good point. I totally missed that one. Probably something we're not going to see this game would be legal out of Jai's deck.
Yeah, just cook the books in the meantime. I think R&D archives both. Interesting. I guess we have enough eyes on the remotes already and just going to try to win through the Lakshmi Smart Fabrics thing. Oh, Friends in High Places. Getting even more installs onto the table.
Reinstalling. We'll see what Jai goes for here. It might be the time to get those Jeeves and wage workers, like you said. Start generating the clicks.
No Estel Moon. That's close second.
Yeah, and a Jeeves ends up sitting on the board. 5 to trash, a little bit too much for Sidero right now. Who hasn't found a single boomerang, I don't think. So no way to get through that HQ ice cheaply.
Yeah, Jai also does have a lot of cards on the table that will be rest in case of the account siphon.
Absolutely.
So basically just cannot do anything.
Sidero challenging HQ. We'll see if Jai wants res. He has been very reluctant to res this ice on HQ, not to give away any information about what it could be. Also probably not interested in spending the money. Just lets Sidero through. CD finds an enhanced login protocol, so any way to clear any current. We're still playing under the corporate grant, but Jai doesn't want to spend the click and the credits to shake that away for now, although he definitely kept it in hand for the possibility later down the line.
Think it will helpful a bit. Can send it that into the Jeeves. Probably cannot trash this though. 5 credits, a bit too much.
It would be all of the gains on the clean getaway sign. Yeah, exactly. To keep it around and just discards the paparazzi.
Yeah, not a correct card for this matchup. Moomba Temple getting your free credits on this turn, resting Estel Moon, and next turn Moomba Temple getting credits that probably will be resting the Jeeves. Wonders from the Moombet cycle, all these cards that just combine into each other kind of nicely.
Yeah. Jeeves probably getting rezzed here. I would expect Jai to just install at least 3 cards, get Estel Moon all the way to 6 credits and 3 cards worth of pop.
And might see a nasty fully operational here for like about 15,000 credits, if I have my math correct.
Install. Definitely going to see another install just to trigger the Jeeves. Decides to pop the Estel Moon right away. Probably doesn't have another card to find the extra value from Jeeves.
Yeah, doesn't look like it.
Also, very interesting, decide not to res the Cybernetic cards last turn. It's free to res, and could have kept a few more cards in hand.
I feel like we probably had agendas in hand that we just wanted to get rid of. And
Makes
could
sense.
Be a second Spin Doctor on server 6 here.
The Ison Archives definitely tells a similar story. And now CDRO a bit under pressure. 6 points is a lot to play from, but the board is getting more and more out of control. And a single Lakshmi could just block off not like many attempts of stealing agendas. For now, hammering HQ again. Tributary is this time around moving, so letting CD possibly challenge the Spin Doctor next click.
Looking at Shibboleth break values, yes, 6 credits. I think we will let the Tributary exist.
Yeah, it is a tough one for Chibo here. Eyes gets installed. As I installed something behind it, we know that's not an agenda, but it could be anything else. And Sidero zooming out, the board has become way too large for the regular zoom. Finds a biotic labor.
And finally there is a boomerang, and now can actually send in account siphon. There is a lot of cards on the in the servers though, so might be able to just like actually res everything on the table and duck below here.
Well, that is true. It's important to notice that if Jai raises a lot of assets, it doesn't have a lot of money to protect any of these said assets. So
I mean, if you don't raise a lot of assets, you will lose all of your credits.
No, absolutely. But what I mean is, Sidra is not going to bounce back in credits, but Jai will be forced to play a little bit face up, and it's a fair.
Oh damn! You're going to lose something here.
You can pay 3 credits.
Yeah, probably down on 0 credits here. I down 1 credit.
Yeah.
And does Jai get a res here? A Moomba Temple and a 2-cost Ison R&D could be kind of game saving here.
If Jai goes all the way to 0, CDR has the chance to access HQ, but yeah, resting the Lakshmi Smart Fabric. And CDR has to choose between getting 2 tags or just touching 1 card, and it looks like the access makes more sense. Now challenging R&D, looking to find the winning agenda now that Jai has no credits to spend on resing the ice. Spin Doctor shuffling it back, fully operational, and a face down.
And accessing the fully operational
It is bad news for Sidro because that's on the agenda he was looking for, but it's also terrible news because that's gonna give Jai so much value. We have 4 servers right now iced up, so that's 5 triggers of fully operational, and Jai has 3 clicks, one of which has to be find some money to play the operation. But the other one can definitely be ice up one of those servers, get even more value from the fully operational, and probably attempt to find a winning line that scores either 5 or maybe even 7 points all the way, because Jai has not scored anything so far, and there's only 13 cards left in R&D.
Yeah, the agendas have to be somewhere. Maybe one more on HQ. Next turn, even if Jai plays a massive... Oh, and the wage worker is getting rest. So Jai on the way for these nice 5 clicks turns.
Starting off with 3 credits, gains 2 click back. Now, Jeeves triggers only one time, but we'll see if Jai can find a second way to trigger the wage worker. Looks like we're just installing and then using fully operational, gaining a lot of credits back.
Yeah, it's only 5 uses, so going +9.
Looks like +6 for now. Jai is thinking whether he wants to draw a little bit off of the fully operational or not. And you have to assume that some of the assets here on the table have to be some amount of spin doctors, right? Because agendas have to be in archives at this point. Looks like undoing and just defending HQ even more. Oh, never mind. Undoing the install on server 11. And then
instead of a click or a credit, I believe. So just
makes sense.
Getting the install there. Protecting HQ, so Sidero cannot just walk in through spending 3 clicks.
Now you have to fight the Lakshmi in some way. You usually would try to fight it by accessing cards and forcing the points away, but or the counters away. But Sidero could also run Lakshmi with enough money to trash it. For now, not an option. It just lets the tributary fire on runner R&D.
Oh, a new remote.
Ice gets installed. Something gets installed behind it. With 10 credits, you have to assume that Jai can res that. It's an architect. Very good at protecting R&D if you can't break it. So Sidero has to find another way to get through that, because otherwise he's never going to access the agenda that wins him the game.
I mean, if you see 5 agendas on top, then you cannot do anything.
That's for sure. Although the Lakshmi can help you in that case.
Yeah, also probably a spinny D somewhere on table.
Definitely. Jai taking notes on what's on top of archives.
Yeah, full nerd behavior. Technically legal, but frowned upon by me. As a disclaimer, that's a joke.
Yeah. That was definitely implied. Now Jai setting the top of R&D. Not having access to 2 of the 3 Vitruvius is also quite annoying for Jai, because that's usually one of your combo lines, is getting some of the important operations back in HQ from archives by over advancing that Vitruvius. For now, installing something in server 5.
Yeah, interesting. Also, the HQ is already installed previously. So server 5 getting a new card. There also is an upgrade already on there somewhere.
Looks like an upgrade of some sort, because it did not get trashed.
Also, like, Liza is probably one of the better decks that is just bouncing back on credits. Whenever you find a copy of the Mars for Martians, you do.
You don't want to see that.
Second time acting a fully operational on top, and Jai just probably grinning ear to ear, seeing that card from the architect.
it would now be 6 triggers. I think Jai can set up almost any line he is that can do.
Yeah, Luminal score into what's successful field test? Score that into like hell operations or something.
You can't score an agenda after you scored Luminal, but
yeah, I had to pivot into a successful field test at the last possible moment, but even then, probably not enough actual scoring tools to make that work.
Now we get to see the players banter a little bit as CDR is thinking about his next move. The ice is definitely getting quite tough to go through. You can't access an agenda through Architect, and you definitely can't let the Fairchild fire too much.
And now that we actually have ice protecting servers, this tributary adding 2 strengths on everything will make everything much more annoying to break.
Absolutely. So you're complaining about the shiplet. Absolutely warranted, honestly. But you started with 4 points in turn 1.
You put it in your deck, so... Also, there was a choice of playing Aumakua in Criminalists, which often would have been kind of nice here.
Yeah, Lies, I think, quite taxed on points between all the cards you want to play, so maybe not doesn't have access to the 1 point you would need for Aumakua.
Yeah, 100%.
For now, clicks for credits, sets up for a possible play next turn, and we'll see what Jai does with that fully operational on top of R&D and a board fully set up to do stuff.
Yeah, probably
I would expect. Yeah, I would expect some kind of score this turn or the next at the latest, because it is getting later and later for Jai, and those cards in R&D are not getting that number on R&D is not growing.
Realistically, yeah. I think Jai definitely has some evil intent. In this next turn, we can see stuff like full operational, maybe a biotic labor or a nano management for our Zoomer viewers being played and just popping off massively.
Yeah, thinking about current surveillance, a card that would let CD-ROW access the whole R&D from top to bottom and going through the architect look and reset at your order, the order you prefer effect. CD-ROW are now missing a bunch of credits for that to happen, but definitely threatening something similar.
Yeah, it's counter-surveillance is a threat on how CD-ROW actually is going to win the game. Just has to get this, I believe, 1 of 2 copies. Depends on the influence amounts. But needs to find that and basically a March for Martians to actually get enough credits to play that also.
Yeah, the two usually go hand in hand. Without the March for Martian, you don't usually have enough credits, especially in a game that has been so taxing on the runner to actually pay for the exceedingly large counter surveillance tax when you're at 10 tags or more. So CD-ROW, a couple of cards still away from setting up that combo. For now, Spin Doctor gets res. Let's see what the HB combo line looks like. Click 1, fully operational. Drawing 2, getting all the way through the architect pile, I think, at this point.
And otherwise, still can generate 12 credits on top of drawing 2. Kind of absurd if you believed. Choosing to draw even more? Digging for something here?
4 cards left in deck. Spin Doctor would be able to set 2 more back in For now, a second fully operational to gain just 13 net credits.
And Biotic Labor up to 4 points again.
Triple Advance gets another wage work click. Back, we'll see what that card is. For now, 2 more clicks left in Jai's pool. Also important to notice, I think we've installed that card with Architect, so Jai jamming that card on server in server 5 last turn when C0 face checked the center in R&D.
Yeah, I believe probably just looking at the credit totals and being kind of certain that if server 5 is a real ice protecting, that getting in would have been a nightmarish task.
Absolutely. Double advancing the current server 5, we'll see if that's just a global food initiative.
Global food or a Vitruvius with 2 counters, and next turn going to be kind of nasty again. Jai preparing for even more full operationals, even more Biotic Labors, and just a nice turn coming up.
Finally, raising the cybernetic cord, keeping the cards in hand, setting up with the combo, Spin Doctor ready to save any agendas in archives or maybe set up more combo pieces on R&D. And Jai has access to anything he wants from archives twice. Cedar, unfortunately, just having to set up, hoping to find the Mars for Martian into Clump Vengeance combo. Not Clump Vengeance, sorry, Counter Surveillance rather. Looks like missing this one out, and we'll see if Jai has enough fuel in the tank right now to score out 5 more points and close it out. With 2 Vitruvius Counter, you have to expect there to be some kind of combo line.
I mean, doing something like just Biotic fully operational is already a decent chunk of cash and scoring opportunities. Also, Rashida, even more of everything coming up.
Rashida
Well,
leaves you
shuffle
exactly.
something in.
Yeah, Rashida would draw you into all of R&D, so Jai can quite easily shuffle whatever 2 cards he needs, and with a fully operational, get a bunch of money and draw the last 2 cards. I think we're gonna touch the bottom of R&D very safely here. Biotic gets shuffled back in, probably an agenda as well with face down.
Yeah, totally could be. And now probably will draw into everything, especially with the Vitruvius can get a full operational, which can draw your last remaining cards also.
With 22 credits, I would be shocked if Jai needs more, but we do have to advance a total of at least 8 credits worth of agendas, because you need to score a GFI as well as at least 2 points. Jai's probably thought through the line. Installed in server 10. That's the first click. Raz's Spin Doctor goes all the way to 0 cards in R&D.
That Spin Doctor basically a clickless install if Jai also installs 2 agendas this turn.
That's correct, which is probably going to happen.
Yes. Will you get the Wage Workers value click out of that?
And that's exactly it. All the way back to 2 clicks, thanks to the Jizu now has done all of the job that he can do for now. Biotic is your first click, and now we're just advancing the first agenda all the way to 3, scoring a Luminal Transociation. That's, you can't score anything else after that.
Spin Doctor can shuffle 2 cards back into the deck, so maybe not lost yet. Zero on 3 credits. So Jai can, if Jai cannot score this turn, can just wait for the next one also.
Yeah, and the Lakshmi with 7 counter is probably enough to save any agendas in HQ or archives. So Jai in a pretty good position. You just have to shuffle in 2 cards that you know for sure CDRO can't make you draw or trash. And I don't know, is the install from Architect mandatory? Is the draw from Tributary mandatory?
Draw, no. Architect, maybe. Yeah, FFG didn't botched that one, apparently.
Yeah, probably both of those look like they're optional, which makes sense.
Yeah, 100% optional. Enhanced locking protocol also even more problems for Sidero.
You're running at the wage worker, realizing there's a chance that if you trash all the extra clicks, maybe Jai can't score the last agenda. Although between Project Vitruvius and the Biotic Labor that we've seen running around, Jai can definitely get to 5 clicks and score whatever 5-3 is either on the table or in hand right now.
Yeah, 100%.
Someone in chat calling Rebirth to Fisk to force the draw, which would be an absolute fire play. I don't know if it would work. I don't even remember if that's enough cards to make the Corp lose through that Spin Doctor on the board.
Who would be the most threatening install ever when your opponent actually goes to Laramie Fisk, though?
For now, the vanilla keeping Sidero away from archives. I'm just sending a last click transfer, which I don't think can go through the Fairchild anyway.
Just the aura transfer of wealth, basically.
Hoping to force a mistake maybe from Jai. For now, Tour Guide getting res and keeping the Eliza player off HQ, and we'll see if Jai can win the game from here.
Hope that Jai misclicks the Spin Doctor button.
Forgets the Spin Doctor, yeah.
No, just one copy of Biotic Labor being put in. Biotic Labor.
Use it right away. 0 cards in R&D. Definitely last turn for the Corp.
Yeah, can basically play 2 extra copies of Biotic. Oh, there's Agenda on table.
And just scoring out the GFI. Probably having the Lakshmi protecting it from HQ anyway.
So.
What a game, honestly. Going down to 6-0 all the way to like turn 2 or 3 maybe, and then slowly building back up. Sidero not finding maybe the few cards and getting quite unlucky on the 7 cards dig on R&D earlier with the counter surveillance.
That always is like getting unlucky on a big multi-access dig after just sniping single agendas is always like, how much can you actually complain?
Unique card access 25 is definitely a quite high number, so a little unlucky for sure on the runner side there.
Yeah, possibly.
With that will take us to the end of week 8 here, and we have some standings, mind you. This is the penultimate week of Eternal Super League, so we'll be returning for one final time next week for week 9. Before that, we're just gonna pull up some standings. So for those who are joining me on this call, you might not be able to see this, but I know you have access to these on Discord. We have one clear player in first place, and I don't think that can go anywhere. Shout out to Off1515, who has played every week besides, I believe the first was off, and just hasn't lost a game. So 42 points is just absurd. I don't think we've ever seen a score this high in the whole history of Eternal Super League.
Score is absolutely like baffling, honestly.
Just monstrous.
Not having dropped a single game, yeah. It doesn't take just skill, it takes extreme luck as well, and very good preparation on knowing who are your opponents going to be in the next 3 weeks, and going in with the right decks, making all the meta calls. So like honestly takes a lot of work and skill to get there, and it has definitely been a great show for OF so far.
Yeah, massive. No, second place, we have Jai, and Jai is off next week, so it's not playing any games. So just holding a breath and hoping that nobody can catch up for that second place spot. And it is quite competitive. I don't know how SOS is calculated here. Oh, I guess we do have it there, the SB score. I'm assuming that's what that is. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting week next week for sure. So next week, again, that is the 9th and final week. Each player here has played 8 weeks of fantastic Eternal Super League. But we will be returning one more time. It'll be 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next week to finish off what's been a fantastic, again, 9 weeks. Oh, Warlock and Exit, do you want to do any shoutouts before we shut this thing down?
Not on my end. Just come in and watch next week. That's definitely going to be a fiery conclusion to our season 2. But actually, if you have anything else,
just shouting out the King's Court podcast. happen. It's every day or every Wednesday on 12 p.m. Finnish time, and it's just me and Brandon shooting that shit.
Fantastic. And if you are enjoying content like this, mind you, if you want to leave just a like, subscribe to the Super League, leave a comment, that sort of stuff helps this channel grow. Share it to a friend. I think a big part of the Tuner Super League is showing Eternal format, which is obviously a wild format, but trying to make it as approachable as possible. So if you appreciate that, we definitely appreciate the support. And with that, thanks so much to all our players. Again, all the organizers behind the scene. It takes a lot of effort to get all these games played and recorded and all this stuff that happens that you never see. But we'll be back next week for our finals. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a week. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.